Hi, welcome to Losing Weight with Elizabeth. Yay! You can tell it's around the holidays. It gets a little quieter, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we are around the holidays, and I'll just give my confession, and maybe if anybody else wants to, they will. But I did the right thing. I had breakfast at around 7:30, and then at 11 o'clock I had 2 hard-boiled eggs, so that before I went to the dinner, which was at 12 o'clock, which I loved that idea of having it early, so you know, except for the length of time you're there, you just continue to eat. But at any rate, the 2 hard-boiled eggs did nothing to slow me down. Absolutely nothing. So, but the good part is I went to the gym in the morning, so I did do that. And then the next day I was right back on target. That's always the most important part. Maybe I wasn't a healthy eater on Thursday, but I was a healthy eater since then. So that's what I think. You always have to think, what can make it better the next day so you don't feel all guilty and miserable.
Not to mention how bad you physically feel.
Oh, thank goodness for the gym, because I just sweat it all off, you know, so, you know. But I did go Thursday morning. That was Thanksgiving. But, you know, it doesn't really matter what the holiday is. It doesn't, because like we talked about before, there's certain months that are very difficult to lose weight, the May and June, hard ones, because you're always going to weddings and showers and graduations and picnics, and you're having food you never had before. And that's sort of the same thing that happens during the Christmas season, from Halloween on up. You don't normally buy bags of candy. I did see something very funny on television. The husband walked into the kitchen and the wife had chocolate on, and he said to her, "Did someone buy the Halloween candy too early?" Yes. You have to buy it that day if you're going to even do it at all. I just turn the lights off because I can't have candy in the house. I know myself. So we need to get back on track, and that's what we need to talk about today. And at the end of the thing, we'll talk about a few little holiday weight gain tips of not to gain weight,
Right.
of course. All right, so do these, don't do these. Reflect on your recent choices. Oh, I hate to reflect on my recent choices because they really weren't that good. You know, and this is the saddest part. It was the peanut butter cookies with the candy kisses that were just like, I just could not stop eating them. And I see you didn't have to unwrap the kiss.
No,
It was right on there. What was your was there anything special? Anything you went off?
Well, probably the apple pie with the Ready Whip on top. I normally
Did you do
wouldn't.
this?
Of course. Well, actually, no. I use a spoon. I put it on a spoon.
Oh.
And, you know.
Really? Not right out of the can?
No, my husband does, and I think it's disgusting.
Oh, I think it's funny, but
Yeah.
but it's okay. It's
Oh, we
not
have
helpful.
4 different. It's bad enough their finger is on it. You know.
Yeah.
4 different people, but.
Oh, I don't know that. I don't put my mouth in it. I just
No, but I
hold it
know.
up in
But,
the air.
but yeah,
What's
it's
this?
just the proximity is just, you know. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've done it, but now I do it more civilized. I squirt it on a spoon.
Oh, you're civilized, I see. What about you?
Oh, I was perfect.
Always perfect.
No, I pretty much just totally went off. But I got right back on the horse.
So you
after I
mean
did
on Thanksgiving Day you went completely off?
kind of a lot longer than Thanksgiving Day.
Oh, yeah.
Because my job entailed having all these baked goods delivered, and we had to give them to the public. So I had one for you, one for me.
Yeah, it's like, here, have a cookie. Oh, yes, of course I'll join you.
Yes, I'll try one. Oh, they're awfully good.
Oh,
yes.
they're awfully good. And I love that we say awfully good. Awfully.
Yes.
Right there. So, yeah, what about
That was bad.
any?
Well, I cooked for 25 people.
Wow.
So yeah, it was a lot of people. I was trying to basically screw up the meal so that they would all say, next year we're going somewhere else, but that didn't work. So
Oh, well.
so eating that day was really, I was running more than I was eating. But I did. My mother makes a wonderful pumpkin pie, and that was my cheat. I just love her pie. But
And
as far
that's-
as the food, and we had no leftovers. It was like I have never seen food evaporate the way it did. So
Wow.
yeah,
Very
That
good.
is a real blessing.
Yeah,
not 'cause
it
you
was a
didn't-
blessing.
You didn't, number one, you didn't waste food, which is the worst
right,
thing ever.
right.
And so you didn't waste money buying food.
No.
And you didn't cook too much, which is time consuming.
Yeah, well, people left with dishes, and
Yeah.
I looked around and I said, well, that takes care of it.
Yeah.
No
is there any-
leftovers.
And it was
I-
only 20 minutes.
Yeah, right. And that's the thing. You cook for hours on end, maybe even days on end, and the meal is over in a half hour.
Yeah, it's very sad.
I know, really is.
It really is.
So, well, that's not too bad though then. You know, nobody did that. Everybody did okay, so that's it. But we have to, we can't forget how far we've come. That we are making changes, that we are making the effort, that we've made a plan, and that you can't be mad at yourself for having a piece of pumpkin pie on Thanksgiving. You know, that's the other thing. And I could be a little mad at myself because I was really like a sugar addict. You know, I did really well during the meal, but after the meal, it wasn't good. So, you know, but we all have our days when it doesn't go exactly as planned.
And we did exercise.
And I did exercise, so I'm
Yeah.
going to concentrate on that and not be mad at myself.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so we want to, you know, focus on the lifestyle changes we've made, and you can't put a time limit on these lifestyle changes. It's not like, okay, I'm getting ready for the wedding. I have almost a year to do it. I'm gonna do everything I can to feel my best. That's because you already look your best, but to feel you want to feel it. But the thing is that that's not the end. You know,
Right.
that it's still a continuing process till you get it to where, you know, you can say, I can go out on the weekend, I can do things, but I know that when Monday comes, or however your week works, you know, some people work on the weekends or something, however your week works, that you know that's just because you have that goal doesn't mean it's not a lifestyle change.
Right.
That is good for you, because everybody is different. Everybody's like, what do you think what was one lifestyle change that you feel pretty confident about now? Anybody?
I think the one thing I feel most confident about is planning what I'm going to eat.
Planning and preparing. Very good, very important. One of the most important things that you can do, because if you don't have food ready when you're hungry, of course you should never get hungry, but if you don't have food ready when you're hungry, that's a very good one, and that's what's helped you lose all that weight. Very good. Do you have one?
I think I agree, planning a menu for the week.
Planning and preparing.
Yep.
Anything?
Well, I don't know. I think we all have bad habits, and we have to recognize what they are, and maybe work on one at a time. You know,
Yes.
and you know, like a bucket list almost.
Like a
that you
bucket
can-
list.
Yeah.
If you were going to go on my bucket list, and I fail occasionally with it, but it's not binge eating when I'm upset. That's what I did it, as I told you a couple of weeks ago. I let myself get all upset, and I had to leave where I was because I wasn't going to stop. So even though it was a binge, it was a short binge because I left before I could eat every bit of the desserts that were there.
Yeah.
And I would have, but I think that's what, for me, that was the biggest change, was not binging. So in planning and preparing, I'm a cook, so you know that's part of what I do. I made a turkey soup for the week. turkey, cabbage, vegetables, just the whole thing. You know, put the broth in the refrigerator overnight so I could get all the fat off the top. You know, those are things that I probably would have never thought to do to get the fat out of it. Because, you know, you really do take a lot of calories out of it when you take the fat. A little bit of flavor, too, so you really have to really spice it up a little
Season
bit.
it, yeah.
Yeah, but, you know, I'm a cook, so there wasn't a big deal. But I think that's the one thing that I did that was definitely, you know, so find new motivation. You always need to find a new thing that you want to, that, you know, that you want to move forward on. Is there something you'd like to move forward on? Lucy, you look like you have an answer.
No, I was thinking more about, it's like a dangling a carrot, like you need some sort of goal each.
Lisa wasn't
like,
dangling
all
a
of it.
cookie.
Yeah. So, yes, I picked carrot because it's,
Yeah,
Not
see
fat.
how healthy you are?
I know. Just to
Dangling
have a goal,
avocado.
like little goals, like you have a big goal, but have
Yeah.
little ones in
Right.
between, like, oh, I
Yeah.
have to
That's what I
go
did.
do this.
I had
and
small
go
goals.
do that.
And what was,
Yeah, well, like, you know, my overall goal initially was 20 pounds, but I set it in 5-pound increments. And then when I started seeing, you know, I was like getting between clothing sizes, my goal was, okay, get down to
Yeah.
that size that I'm, you know, kind of squeezing into. And, you know, I always had in the back of my mind the goal to incorporate some kind of exercise. And I can't, you can attest to how many times I sat here and said, it ain't gonna happen.
I remember you have no idea how adamant she was about not exercising. And that's probably what happened, you started exercising.
Yeah, I started exercising, and now, you know,
Yeah.
yeah, now it all went to crap, but,
Yeah, but you know that'll be the best thing that happens.
oh, yeah,
You know,
yeah.
but see, you can change your mind about things. And you can, and one of the reasons why you change your mind is because you start to feel better and it's not so hard. Imagine what we were talking about, getting out of bed, if you had that cinder block that you had to take with you. You know, I mean, makes a difference, getting out of a chair, you know, all of that. So I like the idea, though, if I ever thought in my head 93 pounds,
You'd say
You
there's no
wouldn't
way
have
I
done
could
it.
do it.
No.
You'd say it's
Place.
impossible.
just past the cream
Yeah,
cheese.
that's
I
right.
mean, you know,
I
That's
know.
right, give me the bagel.
Give me the bagel, yeah. Well, I would never have done it. I never even thought about how much weight I had to lose.
Did you even think, you probably didn't even think you could.
It never even dawned on me a number. It never
Right.
did dawn on me a number. I don't know why that is. Maybe I was just blessed that one moment in life that, you know, that I was just stubborn enough, because it wasn't like this big willpower thing. It was more being stubborn, that this was the time for me to control it. I don't know how it happened. You know, I mean, I have it all written down, but I still can't tell you how I actually did it. How about drinking water all day? Wouldn't that be a good thing? Is that a hard one for you?
Yeah, because I'm in a school, and
Oh.
I have like a 20-minute lunch break, that's it.
Oh, I know, it's
So
ridiculous.
I can't freeze the kids and run, you know?
Yeah, right.
So it's tricky. for
It
me.
is
When
tricky.
I'm at school. But when I'm home, you know, it's a
Yeah.
lot easier.
And there's so many things to drink beside water. You don't need to, you know, I've been drinking raspberry zinger tea. Ooh, it's so delicious. Because I've been not drinking during the week, but I need something that makes me feel like I'm having something special.
Yeah,
Right? So
a
that,
mocktail.
like a cocktail, sort
Yeah,
of.
a mocktail.
But it's, yeah, mocktail. But it, you know, and it has no calories and no
Yeah.
caffeine.
It's just a
and
flavored tea. It's your mocktail.
yeah, and I feel very satisfied with it though. So that's always a good thing, was when you can find a replacement for something you like to like. I like to have a glass of wine at the end of the day, but now I find a replacement for it. But you know, not everything is replaceable. Peanut butter cookies are not replaceable in any way.
No way.
Because you can't even just have peanut butter, because there's 190 calories a tablespoon or something like that.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
you
a
know,
lot.
do you know how much a tablespoon of peanut butter is?
It's
It's nothing.
It's
Nothing.
a tease.
It's a tease. I eat that while I'm making the peanut butter
Right.
sandwich.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but you can, other things beside water, but I understand when you're stuck and you can't go anywhere, you kind of have to. But I found, one of the things that I found, and this was a really good thing, is that once I lost weight, there wasn't as much pressure on me to go to the restroom when I drank a lot because there wasn't pressure on my bladder. So it's very personal, but nevertheless, because there's every reason in the world to lose weight if that's the only reason right there. But that pressure would, you know, but that's a lot more weight than you need to lose. So let's not think that's what it is. But for me, that was a big deal that it happened. I think being a little adventurous is not a bad thing in the food area. You know, try new spices, you know, try new foods you might not have ever tried. Have you tried anything new that you, anyway, tried anything new?
Not lately.
Yeah, not recently.
Yeah, because you're well into it.
so.
And so, you know, you're
Yeah,
probably,
I kind of eat the same things.
yeah, I don't know how you do
But
that.
doing that that zucchini,
Oh, the zoodles?
whatever they're called.
Spirals.
Spiral
Yeah,
zoodles?
that
Yeah.
was like the best invention.
Yeah.
That's the best invention.
Yes.
And not only that, but the stores are selling it.
Right.
Yes, so I mean, you could go in and get the spiraled squash,
What is it called?
zucchini already done.
Oh, already spiral.
Oh, really?
yeah.
Oh, gee,
Oh, wow.
but
Oh,
I
I
already
haven't
have
seen
one of
that.
those things.
Yeah, I know. I don't have one, but I
Oh.
saw it and I went, okay, that's really good because I
That was
already
smart
in
of
my
them.
head started figuring out the recipe where you start with a little tiny bit of olive oil, you put a little garlic, a little basil, a little oregano, and you know, cook the squash, then put the turkey and chicken sausage meatballs
Yum.
and with sauce over the top. Now this would be a very low calorie dinner. The meatballs are about 75 calories. So now, you know, could be under 300 calories. And you'd still think you
it's
were having
delicious.
a treat beyond measure.
Really?
So, you know, and this is the other one. Say kind things to yourself daily. You don't have that problem, I know. You're not mean to yourself.
I don't know. I'm hard on myself, though.
Are you?
Yeah, I can be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
But-
know what I read this week? If you wouldn't say it to a friend, don't say it to yourself.
Yeah.
So we have to start. So remember how we're always trying to look up something for a mantra where, you know, the devil's stealing my happiness or whatever you can come up with. This one really makes sense. If I wouldn't say it to Lucy, I shouldn't say it to myself. Don't I care about myself at the very least as much as I care about Lucy?
Yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah. And I think that's the problem. We get all caught up in that loop of mean things that we say to ourselves. And even when you say I'm hard on myself, it's not being kind. You're not being kind to yourself. And that's the most important thing to do. You know, I have a friend who took care of her sister when she was very sick and let herself get run down. And her sister passed away, very sadly. And she has not been able to pull herself up, and her health is suffering so much. So when I say you have to take care of yourself first, it's just like that oxygen mask. Don't they always say
Yeah.
put that on first?
Yeah.
Well, they mean it for a reason because you can't save the other people in the seat, yes, your children, let's say. The minute that oxygen mask goes down, though, I probably pass out.
Me too.
I would be so scared, and I can't. If it dropped down, I wouldn't even know what I would think. Well, I know what I would think, but it would be good. But if you have the wherewithal to put the oxygen mask on, or to take care of yourself, where she stopped going to the gym, she stopped taking care of herself, and you know, because she was so worn out.
Yeah.
And so, you know, you have to really take care of yourself. So, you know, here's the 5 simple steps. Reflect on what got you off track. You could figure this out easily enough. I know what got me off track. Thanksgiving. Totally got me off track. But fortunately, it was right back the next day. So I reflected on it. make a new meal plan. You know, you have to try new things all the time. I'm next week, right? You two are like, the same lunch every single
Oh,
day.
boy.
Yeah.
I can't do that, but some people can. And if you can do it and it works for you, then I remember what I always say. It's your journey. It's your lifestyle, your healthy lifestyle, one that you can continue. And you don't think I've even thought, even not talk about that cottage cheese on the Wassa crackers. Sounds like the most delicious thing ever.
It is.
I did. I bought cottage cheese last week after you said it. I was like, yeah, I'm getting some of that delicious cottage cheese. So,
Did you like it?
No?
yeah, it was good.
Yeah, oh, okay.
You know, but I think
Yeah,
you have
every
to,
day
you
at
have to,
lunch
you have to,
practically.
I have to mix it with something, but being on a Wassa cracker would be a really great idea. But I put it on top of a salad.
But Wassa crackers have gotten a little more interesting in the last 30 years.
Yeah, they're not like just
They're not
cardboard.
cardboard.
Yeah,
They have sesame seeds on them.
yeah. So, you know.
It's amazing.
Yeah, so if you like them, that's really all that matters. So, but always, you know, I love it. This says, start from scratch. Fill it with food you honestly enjoy that each morning you wake up and are excited to be healthy. Okay.
Yeah, I need my coffee first.
Yeah, before I'm all like happy, please let me have my coffee first. Although I did pretty much give up caffeine, which was a very good thing. And what I do is I make decaf coffee, and in the pot part, I leave a little water and put cinnamon in it, and then make the coffee. And it is like a real like dessert treat in the morning, and no caffeine. So maybe I have 3 cups of real coffee a week, but not very
Why
much.
not?
Huh?
Why not?
Well, I can't drink coffee afternoon anyway, because then, you know, and I can drink decaf afternoon. And I really like it. It's very tasty with the cinnamon in it. So it was just a good choice. And I didn't like, I noticed that it was making me feel a little bit anxious. And you might not notice it, but then all of a sudden you're wondering to yourself, why am I like not feeling well? And that could be the reason, one of the reasons. So I just think it's a good idea. But, you know, this is getting back on track made simple. So we just want to be excited to be healthy. You know what, though? There's something to be said for that in one respect. Aren't you thrilled that you can exercise?
Yeah.
Even though there's no necessarily fun in it. You know, I mean, there's social parts of it that's fun, and when you feel really strong, and when you get an endorphin high, which is my absolute favorite thing in the world to have happen. But it's not like, you know, oh yeah, I'm going to the gym. You know, I think we should be really grateful that we can go to the gym, or that we
Yep.
can work out, because a lot of people can't, and it's not good.
And I was just telling somebody this morning how much more energy I have since I've turned this age that I am than way back when I was like 13. I'm like,
Oh yeah,
like,
me
what?
too.
What happened?
I know. I feel so much. I know that I'm older, but I feel in much better shape than I ever felt in my whole life.
Right.
I mean, because I lost weight the right way, because I exercise regularly, and that I eat really healthy. So you're right. That's exactly right. I should wake up every morning excited to be healthy.
Yeah.
Yippee!
And our feet work.
Yeah, right. Find fitness you will look forward to. Well, I know that in January, I'm going to go a couple of days to the gym, to the Y, because I want to take some classes. Just want to shake it up a little bit. So I'm going to find something different, and see how it goes, see how I enjoy it, and that'll be, I'll be less likely, I'll be doing more. But even if I take a class at the gym, I will really want to go and lift those weights, because I know it's the most important thing. As we talked about setting large and small goals, you have a large one, but we need all those little ones, like you were saying, with the 5 pounds. And motivation, of course, is most important. So now so we have a few minutes left, right?
Yes.
So we can just talk about holiday weight gain, which we are hoping. This is the way I look at it. If you're okay with gaining weight over the holidays, and I'm not talking about, 10 pounds, maybe a couple pounds, then that's okay, as long as you don't beat yourself up over it. And if you want to stay the same, that's very good. I would say that's very noble of you, right? That you really want to try to stay the same, which is really the most important thing in the month of December. You want to stay the same. And if you're going to lose weight over the holidays, I'm way humbled by you that you could do that. But you know what? You may just do it and surprise yourself. So, you have to know, what are you going to feel like in January if you go overboard in December? And can you accept it? Or will you just get discouraged and stop doing what you're doing right now? And that's the thing that you have to think about. So, no elastic waist pants.
I don't have any. Well, no, I have leggings, but
You have leggings. That's the
Yeah.
killer.
yeah.
I wore jeans on Thursday because it's not fancy or dressy, and I was like going, oh, but I knew it. You know what I mean? At least I was aware. If nothing else, I was aware, but as I was putting cookies in
She
my
was
mouth,
aware and she ignored it.
I was aware, but I ignored it, which occasionally you do.
Oh, we do.
Yep.
But the elastic waist pants should just be a no-brainer. You really can't do it. I did eat in advance the 2 hard-boiled eggs, but that didn't work this time. But it has worked many other times. So I know you say, but I cooked all this food, or I did this, or I paid for this meal, or I'm going to my aunt's and she makes the best food, or anything like that. But you are going to get to eat it. 2 hard-boiled eggs are not going to ruin your dinner, really. It certainly didn't ruin mine. So it's not going to ruin your dinner, but it doesn't hurt to do that. Use the smaller plates, which I did, which was a really good idea, thank goodness, because I had very little dinner. And that was the end of what I did good or did well, since my husband probably is watching this. I'd say go heavy on the vegetables, but the vegetables are always loaded with
Butter.
salt, cream cheese, Velveeta. Come on, if there's Velveeta. I know, but it tastes really good on that broccoli. However, I will say that I didn't enjoy the broccoli casserole or the corn casserole this time, even though it was made exactly the same as I have all the other times. So,
Good.
yeah, I know. I'm very grateful when I don't like something that's really fattening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, those brownies are terrible.
Yeah, those are bad brownies. Just make those peanut butter cookies not taste so good, and I'll be good. I love how they say, just say no. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm